I realize that I'm no Owen Jones. I do not have the treasured facility of transitions from important, well conceived views on paramount issues that makes him a Baryshnikov of editorialism. I cannot keep up with that. So please put aside such an expectation. I do not credit the view that I am some sort of special unit of the Zappa Taliban that has all of these onerous berserkers cyber stalking my every phrase. But I have thought about Gaza. Some. I've been glued to my iPhone for the last 7 months. Part of it is because I have been warning people about Jeffen's secrets and his hold on our culture and our judgment for a very long time. I'm not wearing my hearing aids either, so my voice may be a little more reedy than I would like it to be. I can't hear it. Pardon me. Someone I knew fairly well for a long time once challenged me about American Indians when I was talking about what Germany had done to the Jews. I told him I thought it was counterfeit to change the subject that way. I said, if you want to talk about what America and Britain and France did to the Indians, let's set aside that topic for a complete focus and discussion. Now, someone will say I'm not with it in the equity division of comprehensive sociology. Well, it turns out I came out west to study Native Americans because we didn't have that at CCAC in Pittsburgh. And it was lost from the curriculum at Seattle shortly thereafter. And anyway, they wouldn't let me go to school. So I had to go all the way back in poverty, by the way, to Pittsburgh when we did get it at a branch campus. And I was coming home late at night on the last bus in freezing cold weather to take the class in Native American that I now have under my belt. But you can't expect every time somebody says you're not with it in the Congo because you're a hypocrite about Native Americans to have them hear you out about your studies or present a substantive question regarding how the situation socially can be alleviated from my vantage point in the Congo. So I'm entitled to answers, by the way, about the way that my attempts in my 20s, which was 40 years ago, to help Africa were circumvented by the Green Party's pussy ball game. All of that is relevant to my concerns about Israel and David Geffen and British popular culture. Mick Jagger flew his flying saucer into Tel Aviv to do a jiggle fest when the Israelis set up lawn chairs on a mountain to watch and cheer the bombing of the poor people in Gaza who had nothing whatsoever to do with the so-called Hamas attack, which may, for all I know, have come from the orders of Netanyahu in Egypt. I do know that the royal Saudis were not that keen on Arab Spring. So I don't really have an answer about any of that. I don't know what happened, only that Israel was primed and ready to go berserk in a genocidal, holocaustal atrocity. And once again, they dared to put my name on it, by implication, through the support and office of Genocide Joe Biden. Holy word, Joe. It's too much for me. So that's what motivates me to say something. It has often been enlightening to see essays and contributions by Palestinian intellectuals to academic topics of the day because why? They're brilliant, sensitive, and their swath is a broad and diverse audience. I know that in the Munich Olympics back in 1970 or something, what came to be identified with Yasser Arafat was a terrorism attack on Israeli athletes. And this created the boogie monster, the Cuba psychology, the terrorism motif that dogged and hounded Palestinians like surveillance cameras over a Native American reservation. The trail of tears of their Nakba was known to me, as was the horrible, horrible ordeal of the German concentration camps known to me. It's not just erroneous, it's elusive of meaning, of comprehension. There's a critique of Owen Jones in this because he is quick to hammer the gavel that anti-Semitism is real and must be of concern of everyone. I don't see very much anti-Semitism in the world. I don't really fear it or believe it's there. I have a brother who's Jewish. And I realize by saying that the nutters with Trump are going to dress up in various costumes and run around with their squirt machine guns and their pajamas and say, Torah, Torah, Torah. But I do mean it. I don't really believe that there's anything even remotely like a powerful anti-Semitism anywhere that I have seen. Jews have become a very protected people, such that they can get away with a lot of crimes that other people can't get away with, unquestioned. A lot of officious, offensive, belligerent statements that other people cannot get away with. Who in their right mind would say that we have an ethically consistent standard at the University of Pittsburgh when their number 2 law student says, I just hate Arabs. I don't even know why. I just hate Arabs. And get away with it. He should be kicked out of school for it. Now look what they're doing. A lot of people don't know what they're doing. They bombed every hospital. They've left 30,000 children without a limb, and some with more than one limb blown away. They've subjected them to shrapnel murder. They've blown up every university and college in that little tract of land. They've targeted and burned down libraries, residential buildings, one after another. They've dropped 3 atom bombs worth of explosives and dumb bombs on residential neighborhoods containing women and children who they conscientiously and deliberately buried under rubble to die the most excruciating deaths. I'm not going to try to match Owen Jones in descriptions. Believe me, I feel it. It's insufferable. And the toadies to that monster Reagan who occupied Congress and the Democratic Party live it up with their maniacal commentaries in favor of doing something that obscene. And who are they doing it to? Beautiful people, people with caliber, people with intelligence, with verve, with comprehension, with spirit, with creativity, with artisanship, with reverence for their elders and love for their children. It's who they're doing it to, virtually unprovoked. They didn't launch an investigation. They didn't secure the crime scene. They didn't tell the truth about any of it. They're just making a party of genocidal onslaught and getting Congress to pay for it through the tax and spend psychosis that exists in the United States of America because of the worship of the false idol of the Cold War that has poisoned our reputation, our environment, has taxed and spend our precious hard-earned dollars, have made enemies of our friends, and now are taking the lives of the gifted, the terribly young, and Palestinian. It's a monstrosity.